we should stop renting rooms for Nigerians. We should stop renting shops for Nigerians. Those who are selling lands for foreigners, they should stop. Foreigners who are buying land in Ghana, a time will come, we are going to take all those things back from you people. The country belongs to Ghanaians. We can't share our country with anybody. Ghana is for Ghanaians alone. So my advice to the ladies who are giving themselves to Nigerian guys, they are using you people to destroy Ghana.
So we want Nigerians to go back to their country. Ghana is for us. Ghana is not for any foreigner. No Igbo man can come to this country and intimidate us. This country belongs to us. President Mahama, you came for Ghanaians. You said Ghana first. You said you came for the youth. Please take action now. Thank you.
I don't know. Unite me. We can't be dealing with the little criminals that we are having in Ghana and be dealing with Nigerians to grow. So Nigerians must be, the government, the politicians have to do something about it. If they know that they have taken money from Nigerians, they better return it and do something about it. And the immigrations, they should stop giving Nigerians Ghana passports. They should stop.
I literally had to put down my cup of tea for this one, because I feel like there's so much to unpack. We need to understand something as Africans. We are not each other's enemies. We are literally on the same continent. Our skin color is the same, with different intonation, with different tones. Sorry, but our skin color is the same. When we are outside of the continent, right? People do not see us as Nigerian, Ghanaian, Congolese, South African. They're just saying Africans, and that's why you see a lot of people from the West, when they're coming to our beautiful continent, they're not saying, "Oh, I'm coming to Kenya, I'm coming to Ghana, I'm coming to Nigeria." They usually say, "I'm coming to Africa." So we need to understand that we are one. That said, even let's stay here for a second. We've seen many of our presidents on the African continent that wanted to unite Africa, that wanted us to have a common currency, that wanted us to have a common way of thinking, a common way of living. And we also know that those presidents have been killed for it. We all know what happened to Thomas Sankara. We all know what happened to Gaddafi. And we know that currently the president of Burkina Faso is under a lot of pressure and under a lot of fire coming from the outside, from Western countries. The same divide and rule tactics that they've had before, when they enslaved our people, is the same tactics that were so ingrained in us that we are literally replicating the same thing today. When you're looking at a Ghanaian and when you're looking at a Nigerian, yeah, you might see a couple of differences, if you want to say that you're seeing some differences, but they're practically the same people. Personally, I'm neither Ghanaian or Nigerian, but a lot of people would confuse me for a Ghanaian or for a Nigerian, and basically for West African. And I find it very sad that in this day and age, we would have people having such speech. Now that said, we need to also understand that each country is sovereign. Ghana is Ghana, Nigeria is Nigeria, South Africa is South Africa. It is utterly disrespectful for a foreign national to come into a country and to disrespect the rules and the laws of that specific country. It is utterly disrespectful for a people to go into another man's land and misbehave. Unfortunately, our dear Nigerian brothers are not beating the allegations, guys. Come on. Come on. I can understand. You can literally see the pain in that woman's voice as she's speaking. This might be a situation that panned out from different instances. In the second video that you've seen, another lady is talking about crime. And it is unfortunate to say that a lot of Nigerians are caught up in situations um, that and in criminal activities. Personally, I live in Kenya, and we've had many cases of Nigerians being involved in drugs, being involved in sex trafficking. It's not all of them. But you see, if for example I give you a bag of apples, and when you open the bag of apples, on top of those, those apples, you're seeing like about five, let's just go with five apples that are rotten. Would you even want to dig and find out like if other apples are good? That will most likely not happen. And it is the same case, it is the same thing, with Nigerians and even foreigners from other nations that go into a country and misbehave. I personally know a lot of great Nigerians, people that I've gone to school with, people that I've interacted with in my career, people that I have even served with in church. I know a lot of great Nigerians. Because truth be told, greatness is not a matter of nationality, it's a matter of character. And you'd find that a lot of people just have bad character and then are poorly raised. But we'll get into that in another video and in another episode. Um Personally, I just feel like as Africans, our behavior sometimes is very counterproductive. How are we going to be taken seriously? When are we going to change our ways in a way that people will actually take us seriously? It's a sad situation. It's a very sad situation, and I would just advise each and every one of us to be careful because at the end of the day, we've got so many of our own country people that are working in different countries. There are many Ghanaians that work in other countries. There are many South Africans that work in other countries as well, who go to, you know, other places to study even. I went to an international university, an American university in Kenya, and we had a lot of people from South Africa. We had a lot of people from Nigeria, from Ghana, from Senegal, from Congo, from Ivory Coast. There were so many different nationalities, and the world as it is right now is a real melting pot, sorry. You cannot go into one country or into one organization unless it's a government organization or a parastatal and not find a single foreigner. It's not possible. I work for an international organization and we are so many different nationalities. But one thing that strikes me is that as Africans, we never have this same kind of, you know, this same kind of attitude against white people. I'm not saying we should. I am not saying we should. I'm not saying racism is any better than xenophobia. I am not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is, why are we so quick to embrace people who are not from our own race and disregard and insult and fight people who are actually people who look like us? Anyway, I guess that's food for thought. Um, Tomorrow we're going to go deeper into it, and then there's another video that popped up earlier, and that saddened me. We're going to go back to, the case of South Africa, and we're going to dig into that a little bit. But as far as Ghana and Nigeria is concerned, this is very saddening. This is very, very saddening. And I'm hearing a lot of Ghanaians also talking about the whole Ghana must go that happened, back in the day. I believe it was in the 80s when Nigeria literally had to chase away illegal immigrants from Ghana. And not saying it was right, because I do believe, first of all, that as Africans we shouldn't even have any visas, among ourselves. Why do we even have a visa to move from one African country to another one? We are being weakened, in our systems. Can't we see what, for example, Europe is doing? as far as the country is from, is within the European Union, there is free movement and free trade. But we barely hear of a French national complaining that a British national is going to take their jobs. We barely hear of a Polish national complaining about a German national taking their jobs. We are very quick to adopt everything that is from the West, but there are certain mindsets that we could actually borrow from. These people, when I'm talking about these people, I'm talking about the times of colonization and slavery. They have dealt with us in a way that we don't even have a sense of identity anymore. We are busy fighting each other. Where is our pride as Africans? We are only proudly African when there are sporting events. Even as that, you'll see some fights somewhere. We only identify as Africans when it suits us, instead of sticking together as brothers and sisters. We're just out here creating narratives and following narratives that don't even make sense. Anyway, I've said my 2 cents. I've said what I needed to say, and I do hope that this is going to be an eye opener, especially for the next generation. Let's raise our kids better without hate, and let's raise our kids with the love of our continent, because this is all we have. We are too rich, we are too talented. Do you know how great Africans are? We are too amazing to focus on some things that are, forgive my French, useless. And also, as I'm saying that, for the love of God, my Nigerian brothers and sisters, we beg you in the name of God and in the name of whatever you hold dear. We know that among you there are many great people. But do not allow the narrative of the Yahoo boys, the narrative of the scammers, the narrative of the sex traffickers, all these narratives to blossom. We don't need that. We really don't need that. So for some of you who are actually great, please shine with your greatness. Do things the right way. That's all that people are asking. Just do things the right way. Come into people's countries the right way. Respect their laws. Stay away from crime. We know life is tough in Nigeria and everybody is trying to fend for themselves and survive. And you have every right to go wherever it is that you feel you can make a living. But for the love of God, as you are in those countries, stop creating chaos. As I said earlier, I live in Kenya. And you could ask any Kenyan on the street what it is. If you ask any Kenyan on the street what are their thoughts toward Nigerians, the first thing that will come, the first word that will come out of their mouth is scammer. That cannot be the narrative. That cannot be the narrative. So as much as a lot of people are saying that, Nigerians and other foreign nationals, especially, in the case of South Africa, as much as a lot of people are saying that they should go back to their own countries, I do believe that there are great Nigerians out there, and we can do better as a continent. Anyway, thank you for listening to my very long monologue. I appreciate you for staying so long on this video, and I pray that in every decision that we make, we may reflect God, especially for believers. Please reflect God a bit, or at least have some sense of decency. If you don't believe in God, have some level of decency and respect other people, other people's countries, other people's rules, regulations, immigration laws. As we say, when you're in Rome, do as the Romans. Do as the Romans. It was great hanging out with you and having this wonderful tea with you. Again, I dropped my cup, but it's okay. This topic was, a bit heated, so I didn't want anything in my hands. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. It's been amazing having you around. See you in the next video, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye, and God bless.